business. It's business time. Hang tight, we're gonna get into the business right here in a couple minutes. Baby, baby. It's business. It's business time. All right, we are here with week 22 of It's Business Time. This week, today's Valentine's Day, nice special episode. We are joined here by Monty of Monty's Neighborhood Snacks.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming through, Monty. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you inviting me now.
Absolutely. In a moment here, I'm going to get a chance to try one of these beautiful cupcakes. For those who can't see, I'll put a little picture. By the way, if you see me doing one of these, that'll be some post-production website stuff.
All right, there it is.
Real quick, before we jump into it, though, I do always want to give a real quick thank you to Stitch House Brewery for having us. They are right here on Market Street. Always have 12 great beers on draft. I am currently drinking their new Pilsner that's up there, but I'm going to get to their sour here in a minute. I gotta try that one out. But so with that, thanks to Stitch House and Monty, thank you so much for joining. It's Business
thanks for having
Time.
me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know this is a tough day sometimes to get people out because there's a lot going on. Definitely a
business pass.
Yeah. But one of the things I always see in small business is like, you got to be on the off days sometimes.
Absolutely. No days off.
No days off, right?
Even the day off,
right?
You're thinking about what you're going to do.
Exactly. Waking up in the middle of the night, did I send that email?
Absolutely.
So just to get into it, a little bit of the format, this series is largely for other small businesses, other entrepreneurs who are thinking of an idea, thinking of leaving corporate, whatever it might be, and as they kind of make that journey, what they can learn about from you and from others like you. So, kind of keep that in mind as we're talking. Any of that texture of what it is like to be in a small business is very helpful for them.
All right.
And that being said, I do want to get to what you're doing now, where y'all located, what you guys are making, but I like to kind of start in the beginning sometimes.
All right.
What were you doing before Monty's Snacks, Neighborhood Snacks, and while you talk, I'm gonna get into this cupcake.
I was a teacher and a coach.
Okay.
And I always loved baking. And when I was younger, I was at Howard Technical High School.
Nice.
For culinary. And then I ended up getting kicked out of school, not being the best kid, whatever.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to Dickinson High School, where I got a scholarship to Dell State, played football down there. Then I came out with an education degree. And then I started coaching. My passion was coaching. And one day I cooked a cake for one of my wife's friends, and she said, "Oh, you should sell this thing." And I was like, "Nah, you're crazy. You should sell it." Sold it. And then I started making cupcakes, selling them at the barbershops, and then turned into a career. Now it's full-time. I teach cooking classes, and I also bake. Oh, let me give you my spiel. I've been working on this thing, right?
Well, we are all about
the
elevator pitch here.
Oh, and in my classes when I'm teaching kids, I talk about my elevator pitch. You'd be amazed how many people don't know what an elevator pitch is. All right, so I'm Monty from Monty's Neighborhood Snacks. I bring sweets to the streets. I change neighborhoods one cupcake and smile at a time. Travel North has me as top 50 black-owned bakers in the country. I'm on a show called Bake It Till You Make It right now on the Food Network and the Cooking Channel. I also teach cooking classes, non-traditional cooking classes, more like if you have $5, you can get an already made rotisserie chicken.
Right.
And right now you have mayonnaise, mustard, and relish in your cabinet. Right now.
Yep.
And I'll teach you how to make chicken salad wraps. Oh, by the way, that's the same ingredients for tuna fish. Oh, snap! You also can make egg salad. So that's the concept. If you're a latchkey kid, Mom, give me $5. You're going to your second job. I got dinner tonight. Got
you. So culinary school, and now you are doing a lot of. I mean, I love that commercial. We're definitely gonna. So. Rewind. You're doing something with Food Network as well right now?
I already did a show. I'm in a few episodes on a show called Bake It Till You Make It.
Bake It Till You Make It. Check out Bake It Till You Make It. And then now let's get back to the community work. When you're working with kids, you're kind of teaching them how to take what they already have and make different kinds.
And even like fun stuff, like every corner store. If you want to make a banana pudding cup, you can get a banana, a pudding cup, and some cookies. And quick snap a banana pudding cup.
Yeah, I love it. That cupcake was delicious. I was listening to some of your story. I love the strawberry flavor pops. I'm a big strawberry shortcake guy. So, you definitely got the
awesome.
flavors rising up in there. Clearly, you know what you're doing. I looked at a lot of your material as well, a lot of your different pictures, the cakes, the cupcakes, all the different stuff that you have available. And, of course, and your socials are beautiful, too. I mean, that's one of the fun things about bakery, right, is it's like everything looks so perfect, pretty.
Well, to you.
To me, right? Yeah, of course, right. It's
To you.
I understand how that goes. So let's go back a little bit. So what were you doing as you said, you know what, it's time to break out on my own? Oh, I'm getting a little sour in there too. That's good. A little what do they call that? Like vitamin C kind of flavor. The citrus in there. That's delicious. Well done.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
But
I'm glad you like it.
This is the first time I've tried a food while talking, and I realize I have a hard time doing two things at once.
Right.
But so let's go back. What were you doing professionally? As you said, I think it's time for me to strike out.
I was teaching.
So you were teaching full time, and you started making you made some cupcakes for your wife, some other folks, and they were like, you got to do this more often.
Yeah, it was time.
It was time.
It was time.
And then do you mind sharing what was like that cake?
I mean,
what was that recipe, or not the recipe, but what was
the chocolate? It was a chocolate cake. Yeah, it was
Okay.
just a regular. I did some research on if I add this because I never went to culinary school. I mean, I did some exploratories in 9th grade, but I never went to culinary school.
Got you.
And I just started tinkering around in the kitchen and YouTube and stuff and mixing up and playing in the kitchen, and bam, I had something. And then started talking to the barbers. They started letting me come in. I was selling cupcakes for $1. Yeah, it was so disheartening, yo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was
A lot of work for $1.
And then it would take me all day to cook them because I didn't know what I was doing. Take me all morning to cook them, and then by the time I get to the barbershops, everybody's gone or not hungry anymore or already had lunch, and then they don't even want to look in your bin. But yeah, I mean, I kept grinding, and once you start tasting it, and then the word of mouth, and then I had a lot of support in the basketball, like little basketball tournaments, and the I can't even think right now. United Way, giving me opportunities to work with them, the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
And it just picked up.
Yeah, that's good. So a lot of your early business sounds like it came from referrals,
Yes.
suggestions, like from others, like kind of connecting you to
Word of mouth.
folks. Because that's so the reason I asked, what was the cake? It wasn't just a curiosity. It's because a lot of times a product will drag someone into business. Other times people want to be in business and they have to come up with a product. Right? And so in your case, it looks like you were kind of tinkering and you stumbled on...
I stumbled on everything, literally, I stumbled on I didn't even know anything about a strawberry crunch. One of my good friends yo, you got to make this. And then I figured out how to make one, my best-selling item. I was at home, my wife's best friend. Yo, you should try this, make a small pineapple upside down. And now that's like my second best item.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just and then like for my cooking classes, I gave a free cooking demonstration at the YMCA.
Okay.
One of the directors there was an old football player. I coached him in the Blue Gold game.
Oh, cool.
And he was like, hey, I got a relationship with the Latin Community Center. Maybe they'll be interested in your program. Went over there, talked to them. They were my first paid clients.
Yeah. Wow.
And then,
Sorry.
Oh, and then that rolled into every time I get a new contract, I do a free class. So I did a free class at the Boys Detention Center, Ferris. I did a cupcake demonstration, and then a couple weeks later they said, hey, do you have any programming? So now out of the 4 detention centers, I have 2 of them working on getting the other 2. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a blessing to give back, and it seems like the more you give out, the more you get back.
Yeah, I like that mission kind of, for each order you get or big order, you're able to do a class and kind of give back. A lot of companies will be like, 10% of our proceeds go to the rainforest to go to, inner city schools or whatnot. And so, it's nice that it's so transactional, like at this moment, right? Like obviously as you grow, I imagine that's going to continue to be a mission and putting a lot of that stuff back in to the community. Tell me a little bit about that. So you come from a teaching background. When you're doing these classes, when you're working with the boys at Ferris and things like that, obviously you're bringing like culinary expertise to them. Tell me a little bit about like why what that means to you, why you keep doing that.
Well, like you say, culinary expertise,
Just
and
roll
I
with it.
say,
No.
and I say, it's so fun. Like I teach you how to make a banana pudding cup in something like grilled peanut butter and jelly.
Okay.
Now you have something to do with your daughter.
Right.
Now when you get home, you can show your mom, hey mom, look at this. And they,
Right.
I mean, they love that, and they can grasp that concept.
Right.
And everybody has a little sister.
Yep.
You know somebody has a daughter, and they can put themselves in those shoes.
Right.
And it makes them like, oh, wow.
Right.
And I love that feeling.
Something to kind
Like when they say, yo, I'm going to remember, I don't care if you don't remember my name.
Mm-hmm.
You remember what I teach you, and take your daughter to lunch and have her make you something. I win.
Yeah.
If you're hungry and you don't know what else to do, and you find $5, you can go get a chicken and eat that night. I win. Like,
Yeah. So we talked a little bit on the phone before this conversation, and that you reminded me a little bit. You're telling me about the passion of working with these kids, and when we were talking a little bit, sometimes you don't realize how important that stuff is until later. Like you
Right.
said, when you have maybe kids, you share these recipes with them, or even further.
Mm-hmm.
You wind up serving your time, doing your thing, working here, working there, and then you finally wind up in a scenario where some of those lessons that maybe they got this year come back 10 years from now,
Right.
15 years from now.
absolutely.
So that's awesome. I can tell it's a mission of yours too, a little bit why I wanted to, drag some of that out of you too, because it seems like, so here's another thing I'll say. Sometimes, I meet entrepreneurs and it's money first, right? And then it's building the business second, and then it's the clients third, and in your case, that definitely feels flipped. It's like you're doing a labor of love.
I mean, like the cakes.
Yeah.
For me, like I'm not an artist or anything, and I learned how to. I'm even going to tell you about do without a shirt that showed me how to do my cupcake decorations online.
Right.
Whatever. But
Whatever gets clicks in that world, right?
But the cupcakes, I'm at somebody's party, and everybody's always happy when I show up.
Yeah,
when people
yeah.
come get my orders, like we're talking in the mall, I had a cupcake. Like that's so fun.
Yeah.
And then for the teaching the class and the guys are learning stuff, I can't wait to try it. That's like that feeling
Yeah.
that I'm giving somebody else, that they're going to give somebody else. And that comes back, business grows.
Yeah.
Grows.
Yeah, so that's definitely the exciting part, the community and the connections with family, friends, community side. The not as fun part, you mentioned it a little bit early in the early days, right? $1 for a cupcake. It's
Miserable.
the pricing, right? The pricing of stuff.
Yeah,
Trying
that's
to
difficult.
Figure out
That's difficult.
where is a price point where people are happy to pay you, they're
Yes.
excited, but you also cover all your costs, right?
Yes.
Because one of the downsides of people who are really community focused is they often give away their stuff at such a
That's
discount that they can't afford to continue doing it.
I mean, that's just. It's easier now because I'm knowing the ropes.
Right.
Where before, when you're figuring it out, you won't. If I could sell my cupcakes for $8 a cupcake.
Right.
Easy. Like I could sell them for $7, $6. I try to keep them down because I couldn't have afforded a cupcake like that.
Right.
And I don't want to price people out of a gourmet cupcake
Right.
that you may never get again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like some of these kids
Accessibility.
out here, their parent might buy one,
Right.
but they're not going to buy one for everybody.
Right. Accessibility is important to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
For sure. I can definitely respect that. A lot of my pedigree comes from children's music, and it was brutal having this curriculum for kids, and then having people call and say, "Look, I don't have money to put food on the table, let
Right.
alone provide lessons for my child," and trying to remind ourselves that we are here to educate children first. We gave away a lot of product for free because that was an important mission
Right.
of ours, and trying to find that balance. I'll go back to the cupcake world of being able to charge full price over here so that you can afford to do the lessons, the culinary experiences, and offer like a more discounted gourmet, and that balance. You said a minute ago, like now that you have a lot more experience, like product cost, right? You have like a better, like in the beginning you didn't know what it cost you maybe per cupcake.
Yeah, no,
How has that
not
changed?
like I know how much it takes me to make that. I know how much that
Yeah,
set
and you
costs.
don't have to share, by the way. You don't
Oh, I'm not. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I keep a couple secrets.
Yeah.
But I know how much they cost. I know how much
Right.
time it takes me to
Right.
do it. I know what I have to do to go get the items. You know what I mean?
Right. And all that kind of, no pun, sorry about the pun, but is baked into the
It's
final.
baked into the goods, yo.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. You know, puns, you get there sometimes. But, all right, so where are y'all located right now? Like, how can people come?
All right, so I don't have a shop.
Okay.
Items are available for pickup or delivery.
Pickup or
I
delivery.
cook out of the Wilmington Police Athletic League.
Okay.
The PAL.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I commercial kitchen.
Nice.
And I have a website, Monty's Neighborhood Snacks. Check it out.
Monty's Neighborhood Snacks.
Or just put Monty's Neighborhood Snacks in your search bar. You'll find me. You got it.
Yeah, definitely check it out. We got your socials here as well. I saw you on Facebook. Are you on Instagram as well?
Yeah, I'm everything. What you looking
Everything.
for? If you're looking for me, you're going to find me.
Yeah, I figured I can.
You're looking for me, you're going to find me.
So currently you're working in a commercial kitchen. You're selling through socials, right? Very, very common step in growing a small business, right? The brick and mortar, that's a big step for a lot of people.
And for cupcakes, like even if I'm selling $5 a cupcake, the sheer amount that I would, like say if I were to get a storefront here on Market Street Mall, how much does rent cost? All I sell is cupcakes and cakes.
Yep.
How many cupcakes and cakes would I have to sell that month to keep the doors open?
Right.
Like individual packages.
Yep.
Like that's tough. That's tough.
Definitely.
And then I'd have to pay somebody to be there all the time with me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That overhead's crazy.
So I talked to Liv McClintock from Town and Shore. She's the leather goods on 2nd and Market here. And she had an interesting story about, selling online for years and years and years, trying to save up until she was finally ready to buy a brick and mortar. And so I always kind of think, like brick and mortar, like you just said, has a ton of overhead, right? You gotta pay for the lease and the kitchens, and oftentimes someone to be there when you're not, and all that stuff to keep your doors open. The other option is finding a distributor, finding someone who can carry your goods. Do you have like a preference on those two? Are you
what do you mean, like somebody that would make them for me?
No, you make them, but you deliver them. So, for example, you would make a pallet and deliver them to another brick and mortar, like a bakery or something
that would
like
be
that,
ideal.
Or coffee shop.
That would be ideal. Yeah. So my ideal for my business is to have a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Where I can have birthday parties, I can have cupcake decorating birthday parties, or I can have cooking classes, and I can have people come in that way. Yeah. You also could buy your cupcakes. In the back, I got people coming to get their tubs to go teach cooking classes.
Yeah.
And that's where that combination could keep the doors open.
Yeah, because of the cooking classes and the connection to the community, it definitely sounds like the brick and mortar.
And then having guys come in with trucks, picking up cupcakes, going up and down, dropping them off.
Yeah, the distribution as well. Yeah.
And maybe they can be some of my old students from fairs. That'd be nice. Like, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, these are all on the to-do list, right? Obviously, but it's,
These are on the going to do list.
Going to do
These are on the going to do list.
But yeah, so when I imagine someone watching this series trying to learn what they can do next, and how to kind of make that transition to go from selling online and selling through friends and referrals to the brick and mortar. That is a huge step in any business, right? And you're right at that spot where you've got the market has shown you've got a great product, right? You have a lot of interest. You have the Food Network stuff. You have the community kind of behind you. Is there something in your mind that's like, are you saving up for it? Is there something that needs to happen? Is there something you're waiting for? Or is this just kind of you're on the road and you haven't pulled the trigger?
I don't know if that's like right now, today. I want to build my classes.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to get more contracts, long-term contracts, more stable up my business.
Yeah. And so can people find the classes on your website as well?
Oh, right now I don't do individual classes. I do classes for
group classes.
Like if you have community centers but I'm thinking about doing smaller individual classes.
Okay. Gotcha. And so if, let's say there was a group, a boys and girls club, whatever, and they're looking for you to come in and do a class, they can find all that.
Call me, I got packages.
All right, yeah, okay.
Like say you're the den leader, and you want hey, what kind of cooking classes you have?
Yeah.
Give me a call. Or
Yeah.
if you want one class, I can curtail it for elementary school, high school. Like we'll do ants on a log in elementary school. High school, we'll do pineapple upside down pancakes with homemade whipped cream. Like we can do so many different things,
Right.
and all ages can do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All ages can do something.
I like this. You said when we talk about the classes, you're getting more and more animated. I can tell like this is where your heart's
Yo, don't get me
at.
started on my cupcakes now. Yo, you ain't seen that lemon yet.
Yeah, I love it. I gotta ask the obvious question, right, to any chef. Do you have a cookbook, or when is the cookbook coming out?
So I'm working on some cookbooks.
Mm-hmm.
The premise of my cookbook would be a family. You know what I mean? A family for it. The dad, just a little bit, just give him a little bit, just give him a little bit.
Yeah, little tease. Don't give it all away.
If you
yeah.
have the ingredients in front of you, like
Yeah.
you'll have a list of ingredients.
Yeah.
If you physically have the ingredients in front of
Yeah,
you, as you're reading the story that the little boy runs through with his dad, he teaches you how to make the meal in the book, and you can make it right there with who
Gotcha.
you're with.
I can understand why your business manager just advised you not to give away too much, because you got a nice little tie-in here going.
Yes.
Do you by chance know G-Dash?
G-Dash, I do not know
G-Dash
G-Dash.
Jones. He's like an MC in this area, and he does a lot of spoken word poetry and all that. And he talked about how difficult it was to kind of grow without like something to explain who he is, right? And he talked about his book, and he's like, I just needed something to like latch on to. It sounds like you have a really, really good idea. I'm excited for that.
I got some on paper, but I'm working on it. Give me a little bit. It's coming. Yo, I'm telling you.
This is just
Coming.
season one. This is season one. We're definitely having you back for season 2.
Yo, holla at your
That's the
boy.
thing about small. Yeah, right. Of
Yeah,
course.
holla at your boy. I'm back.
That's the thing about small businesses. It's ever evolving. It's ever changing. Like we could leave here in 3 days. You get a contract that completely changes the face
Absolutely.
of your business.
Absolutely.
And so it's always good to check in. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't wait for that contract to come
Yeah.
in. Thank you for talking about it.
But honestly, I wish I could have kind of captured our conversation on the phone, because like it just through the phone, you talking about your missions, about the community work you're doing, about how the bakery started and all that. Like I just like wanted to be like, all right, where can I come? Where can I do this? That you've got a passion about you that's very, very infectious. But hopefully it's going to do you well.
I mean, if anything about my business, if you see one of my posts, even if you can't afford my cupcakes, if you hear something I say, if you around people, if I can brighten up your day
Yeah,
with anything that Monty's Neighborhood Snacks, if I can give you something that makes your life better,
yeah,
that I'm winning.
I love it.
I'm winning.
I love it. Once we get off camera, I have some potential distribution partners that I
That'd be
want to
awesome.
throw your way too. But this has been awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming through.
Yo, that 20 minutes went flying. You know?
I told you. We're probably at 25 at this point. Like it's crazy, and we didn't even really talk about the very, very beginning. But that's good. We'll save that for next time. We'll save a little bit of when you got that glint in your eye, that first cupcake.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was. I used to slice cakes. It wasn't even cupcakes then.
Yeah.
I was selling slices of cake, and then I transitioned into cupcakes.
All right, nice. Well, let's do one more last commercial here before we let you go.
All right.
So you can
What's the
find
commercial like?
Monty's Neighborhood Snacks right here. Give them the pitch one more time.
I'm Monty from Monty's Neighborhood Snacks. I bring sweets to the streets. I change neighborhoods one cupcake and smile at a time. You can find me on any medium, Monty's Neighborhood Snacks.
Monty's Neighborhood Snacks. Monty, thanks again for coming
Thanks,
through.
man.
It's
Thanks for having me.
business
It was
time.
fun.
Absolutely, definitely. We want to thank Stitch House for having us, and continue to have a great rest of your year.
Yeah, peace.
It's been